Milwaukee's new M12 pruning shears are an absolute beast. These guys will cut through just about anything. I want to note that this is a brushless tool and it does not have the fuel notation on the bottom. This is model number 2534-20. That is bare tool. You can get it in a kit with a charger and a CP 2.0 battery in kit 2534-21. This is a 2-speed or 2-mode model. This is going to be the full mode. Notice how open it is. If we go to the half mode, we push the trigger again. Notice it only comes open to half. In half, it is able to take a 5-inch branch. In full, it's able to take a 1¼ branch. The blade up front is SK5 steel. This is 14.5 inches front to back and it weighs 3.3 pounds with the CP 2.0 amp hour battery. Now, there is a safety in the back. You push this with 2 or so of your rear fingers. Yes, you could push it with 1 if you wanted, but it seems like 2 fits. Then you have a singular hole for your trigger finger. That allows you to push down and let go. You have total control of this. If you push in a little bit, it's kind of like a variable speed trigger. The more you push, the deeper it goes, so you can kind of control exactly what this does, which I think is absolutely amazing. I like having full control. The one thing that happens here is always you put something in a mechanical situation and you try to bite too much out of it. I'm trying to show you guys what this will do, and you decide to twist a little bit to try to make things work. I did that once, and when I did, if you look here, you can see there is a small portion of this blade that is kind of pushed away. If we look at it from this angle, it might show up a little bit better. It is right here. I just took a little bit off on this piece on the bottom because when I got into that branch, I twisted a little bit. This thing took much more than 1¼ inch. I had to kind of wiggle it around there, do multiple cuts, and I was trying to push this to show you what you can expect. I wouldn't suggest that you do that because you might end up like me, taking a little section of that blade off. That is user error, not Milwaukee's issue. I felt it. I simply got in, pushing this too hard, trying to hold the camera, and I twisted a little bit, and I twisted the wrong way, and when I did, like I said, it just took that little piece off. Not a problem. It will self-sharpen itself right back up. It still works just fine. But this tool is absolutely amazing when you put it in your hand. Nice and slim, great ergonomic design, not too large. The M12 battery in the back comes out at the bottom. When you push it in, there is no power. So that's nice. The battery is not just going to turn this tool on and then you accidentally do something wrong, because you obviously want to keep your fingers away from the cutting shears. You also want to keep your fingers out of poison ivy. So this is a tool that you need to have a little bit of knowledge of where your hands are. Push the power button, simple. It's going to come on in whatever mode it is, and then you can just push the mode button to go back and forth. I like that. Another thing I really like is if I close this tool like this and turn the power off, it stays closed. So I can store this closed if I'd like to. When I turn the power back on, it doesn't just open up. I have to pull the safety and hit the trigger, let it loose, and it comes back open. Turn the power off here, it stays where it's at. You can use this cover in the open or in the closed mode. It does not care, does not matter. The cover works in either way. I really like how this tool fits. I like how it fits my hand, and I like how it works inside trees when you're kind of reaching in and trying to get into those branches that are deep inside the tree. The 2 modes on this tool are absolutely ingenious, because if you put it in half mode when you're cutting smaller stuff, you don't have to wait for the shears to open up all the way, and you can move at a much faster rate. Get to something that's a little bit larger, simply push the button and the shears open up wider. You can get in, cut something a little bit larger, and you don't have to worry about the time that it takes for this to open up. I'm not saying that this tool is slow. I'm just saying you can be more efficient if you use the right mode for the application that you're working on, and you'll figure that out quite quickly. One thing that I'm really impressed with is the trigger again on this, because I have complete control of that blade. If I don't pull the trigger all the way, it's not going to clamp down all the way. I think that's a great thing, not only for safety, because you can kind of watch what you're doing and do it a little bit slower, but also just to be able to control something that's a little more mechanical. Because if you get to a point where you did have something that was in the way and you just wanted to cut a little bit, you can use that trigger and just kind of get through different areas. Now that doesn't mean you can put your finger anywhere close to that. I would not trust that trigger for anything like that, but there are situations where you may not want to cut through something all the way at the first and just see what's happening. So I love that that trigger is so controlling of the tool. Overall, you can use this tool for a long time with the CP 2.0 amp hour battery. I don't think you need any more power, so I don't think you'd want to go up. Obviously, I got in a little bit of trouble with the power that I have with this. So if you're going to cut larger and larger things, I think it's time to get out a pole saw. One thing that I would love to see with this is this tool on a stick. I can't imagine just being able to get up and just trim a few things that are 3-4 feet in the air. That would be absolutely amazing. And when I say 3-4 feet in the air, I mean 10 feet in the air, because it'd be 3-4 feet above my head. That would be very cool, but again, I guess that's what a pole saw is for. This thing is absolutely amazing. I'd love to hear your comments on this. Please put them below. As always, give us a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.